Korea and Japan share a complex and intricate relationship that spans across history. Today, we will delve into the historical context and explore the dynamics of the Korea-Japan relations. Korea-Japan relations before the 19th century. The historical relationship between the Korean peninsula and Japan can be traced back to the Three Kingdoms period. During this time, Baekje, one of the Korean kingdoms, had a particularly close relationship with the Yamato regime, which later became Japan. They engaged in various forms of interaction, such as exchanging swords known as chiljido, sharing advanced technology, and providing military support to each other. Additionally, some individuals from Baekje, who had been defeated by the Silla kingdom, sought refuge in Japan. However, the subsequent Korean kingdoms, unified Silla, Balhae, and Goryeo, had limited direct exchanges with Japan. This was partly due to the political landscape in Japan, where multiple governing entities existed simultaneously. Goryeo, in order to defend against potential northern invasions, formed an alliance with the Song dynasty and engaged in interactions with various other countries, including Arab nations. The dynamics between Korea and Japan shifted during the Joseon dynasty. Conflicts emerged as Toyotomi Hideyoshi successfully unified Japan and formulated plans to occupy the Korean peninsula and expand into China. In 1592, the Imjin War erupted, lasting for 7 years and causing significant turmoil in the region. Korea-Japan relations after the 19th century. In the 19th century, Japan underwent a transformative period of modernization known as the Meiji Restoration, during which it adopted Western cultural influences and implemented various reforms. Meanwhile, Korea faced setbacks when it was defeated by the Qing dynasty during the Qing invasion of Joseon. As a result, Korea found itself unable to embrace Western civilization without the permission of the Qing dynasty. In 1910, Japan eventually colonized Korea. The Japanese occupation of Korea lasted for 35 years and was marked by numerous incidents and conflicts that further strained the relationship between the two nations. The period of colonization brought about significant hardships for the Korean people, including cultural suppression, forced assimilation, economic exploitation, and human rights abuses. These circumstances created deep-seated animosity and resentment towards Japan among Koreans, exacerbating the deterioration of Korea-Japan relations. Korea-Japan relations after government establishment. Following the liberation from Japanese colonial rule, the relationship between Korea and Japan remained strained. However, the United States, engaged in a conflict with communist nations such as North Korea, the Soviet Union, and China, sought to foster cooperation between the two countries. After a decade of negotiations, South Korea and Japan signed the Treaty on Basic Relations in 1965. This treaty established diplomatic relations between the two nations, and Japan provided financial support to South Korea for its economic development. South Korea received $300 million in free loans and $200 million in paid loans, which were instrumental in the establishment of Pohang steel and shipyards, contributing to the growth of its economy. Despite this progress, unresolved political issues such as the matter of comfort women forced labor and the sovereignty dispute over Dokdo continue to cast a shadow over the Korea-Japan relationship. These deep-rooted issues cannot be easily resolved overnight, considering the historical complexities and the emotions involved. However, there remains hope for future exchanges and efforts to improve the relationship between the two countries, building upon the foundation that has been established over a long period of time.